In that haze where the doctor said, it is cancer. As soon as I heard the news, I thought, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Cancer?
Cancer.
Day to day, I try to stay positive. I felt like my body was failing and there was nothing I could do. I have exhausted all lines of treatment that are available to me without pain. I will have beat cancer.
I have so many people tell me I'm praying for you. I'm wishing you the best. How you doing? I never expected that.
Why?
I never just stopped to appreciate really kind of the...
It is stage 4. He told me, unfortunately, during the laparoscopy, I took some biopsies and they did come back as cancerous. So it has spread to your peritoneum. Now I've had to watch my body essentially deteriorate before my eyes, and I've lost all my fat, all my muscle. It feels like I don't have much strength, and it's very difficult to see that and not have control. This is something that was always going to happen. I just didn't know when it would happen.
After the death of James Van Der Beek, something shifted. What began as grief over the loss of a beloved actor quickly grew into a wider, deeply personal conversation. More and more people are stepping forward to share their own cancer journeys, stories they once kept private out of fear, shame, or uncertainty.
I know deep down that I didn't cause this. I know deep down that it's not in my control. But I still carry that guilt because it's happening to me. I see my family watching me. I see them hurting because it is happening to me. So it's just, I feel like I'm putting them through it, even though I know that I'm not. I know deep down that I'm not, but it's just a guilt that I carry, and I just try to, remind myself, like, it's not in your control. There's nothing you can do.
His openness about symptoms he nearly ignored and the reality of living with colorectal cancer has encouraged others to speak honestly about delayed diagnoses, difficult treatments, crushed dreams, and unexpected strength.
Well, describe it.
Oh man, there are just so many ups and downs and so many unknowns. I mean, cancer is, I call it a full-time job.
Yeah. Were there warning signs, James?
Nothing that made me rush to get checked, and that's what I want to really spread the word about, is you don't need to have really obvious symptoms to get screened. There are recommendation guidelines, 45 and older. Talk to your doctor, get checked, because you don't have to have symptoms to have a positive diagnosis.
And even younger if you have a family history.
Exactly, yeah.
In his absence, voices are rising, turning pain into awareness and silence into shared understanding. When news broke that James Van Der Beek had died after his battle with colorectal cancer, 24-year-old Paige Ciphert sat in silence staring at her phone. She had followed his story quietly. She remembered his interviews, the way he admitted he had brushed off early symptoms, the way he urged people not to ignore changes in their bodies. For Paige, his words felt personal. They mirrored her own story almost exactly. At just 24, cancer had been the last thing on her mind. Paige, an engineer from Denver, Colorado, first noticed blood in her stool in August of 2024. It wasn't dramatic at first, just enough to worry her. But like many young people, she tried to rationalize it. She was active, she skied, she climbed mountains, she ate reasonably well. Cancer didn't fit into the picture of her life. She went to her GP twice. Both times, she was reassured it was likely hemorrhoids. She was told she was too young for colon cancer. She wanted to believe that. "I wrote it off," she later said. "I thought, whatever is going on, at least it's not cancer." But 5 months later, during a colonoscopy in January 2025, her gastroenterologist immediately saw the tumor. There was no uncertainty. It was undoubtedly cancer, he told her. Her heart dropped. She woke from the procedure thinking maybe it would be a minor issue. Instead, she was stepping into a life she never imagined, one filled with oncology appointments, scans, treatment plans, and words like stage 3. She found out the staging results while skiing in Aspen with friends. She logged into her patient portal and saw the words, stage 3 colon cancer. "I felt sick to my stomach," she said. "My mind immediately went to, am I going to die?" In that moment, her dreams felt crushed. She had plans, career growth, travel, competitions, a future she assumed would unfold normally. Instead, she was facing 12 rounds of chemotherapy. Her parents lived across the country. They flew in as often as they could, but much of the emotional weight fell on her shoulders. Friends tried to be supportive, but she could see the fear in their eyes. At 24, most of her peers were worrying about jobs and relationships, not survival rates. When she later watched clips of James Van Der Beek talking about dismissing changes in his bowel habits, she felt a painful connection. He had once assumed his symptoms were related to coffee. She had assumed hers were hemorrhoids. Both were healthy, active people who didn't see cancer coming. Colorectal cancer, also known as bowel cancer, is increasingly being diagnosed in younger adults. It affects the colon or rectum and often begins with subtle symptoms, persistent changes in bowel habits, blood and stool, abdominal pain, fatigue, unexplained weight loss, symptoms that are easy to dismiss. Paige began chemotherapy in February 2025. The treatment was brutal: nausea, exhaustion, brain fog. There were days she couldn't recognize herself in the mirror. Halfway through treatment, doctors paused chemo so surgeons could remove the tumor and a foot-long section of her colon. They also removed 37 lymph nodes for testing. When she woke after surgery, she felt both fear and determination. This was not the life she had planned, but it was the life she had. After surgery, she resumed chemotherapy. She pushed through the remaining rounds by holding tightly to small pieces of normalcy. Sports became her therapy. Even on difficult days, she tried to move: a short walk, light exercise, something that reminded her she was still in her body. "I genuinely believe my active lifestyle helped me get through it," she said. "If I were having a down day, I would go and play sports. I don't know where I would be without it." 2 weeks after completing treatment, she received the words she had been waiting for: clear scan, no detectable cancer, recurrence markers negative. Relief came